Right, let's cut the small talk, because I've got 3 massive bits of news coming straight out of Parkhead today. And trust me, the last one, it could be the signing of the decade. We've got one target already pinched from under our nose, another striker deal heating up behind the scenes in Italy, and a shock return that might actually top Tierney's homecoming. You do not want to miss a second of this, so stick around till the very end. I promise ye it's worth it. Smash that like, subscribe to the channel if you bleed green and white, and let's get this video in front of every single Celtic dafty from Maryhill to Tokyo. Let's go. This one's gonna sizzle hotter than a summer night on Sochi Street. Right, sit your Seldoon for this one. Carlos Forbs. Carlos Forbs has slipped through our fingers, and guess who's nicked him? Club Brugge. According to the ever-reliable Fabrizio Romano, it's a done deal. The fee around 7.4 million quid, and instead of pulling on the hoops, he's heading for Belgium. Belgium, look, I get it. Waffles, canals, whatever. But have you ever heard paradise on a European night? Have you ever felt your chest shake when Kalmack charges through the midfield? No? Well, then you've made the wrong choice, son. Let's be honest. Forbs would have been the perfect answer to losing Kuhn. It's a pacey, sharp, direct, the kind of winger that gets bums off seats and defenders backpedaling like they're running from Sochi Street seagulls. But now we're left looking elsewhere, again. So here's the question I've got for you, and I want you to let it rip in the comments. Did Carlos Forbs bottle it by snubbing Celtic? Oh, and if you're still not subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that button, join the party, and make sure you don't miss the next bit of transfer chaos. Because, let's be honest, the next target's probably getting linked before I even finish this sentence. Right, here we go again. Another name in the Celtic striker sweepstakes. And this one, Giuseppe Ambrosino. Sounds like he should be dishing out espressos in Naples, but the lad's actually got goals in his boots. And that's what we need. Reports out of Italy, specifically Corriere del Mezzogiorno. Try saying that after a few tenants claim Ambrosino's future is getting sorted this week. Napoli want him gone. Conte's told his lot. If you're not in his plans, pack your bags. So who's sniffing about? Cremonese. They're up to Serie A again, and they fancy bringing in the 21-year-old Sharpish. Now, here's the bit that matters to us. Celtic have been linked. Brendan's keeping one eye on him as part of this attacking rebuild we're all desperate for, with Shin Yamada basically already halfway through the door and Balikwisha still being danced around like it's prom night. Ambrosino is very much on the radar, but here's the kicker. If Rodgers wants this lad, he's going to need to move fast. Cremonese are booking talks with Napoli for this Wednesday, if you've lost track of time from refreshing Twitter for transfer news every 10 seconds. So now I've got to ask ye, do you want Ambrosino at Parkhead? Would you take a young, hungry Italian forward over another mystery project from Europe's bargain bin? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget, subscribe to the channel right now or I'll start mispronouncing every single Italian name just to punish ye. And you don't want to hear me say Napoli like a guy reading the menu at Pizza Express. All right, sit down, grab a pint, because this one's a belter. Imagine this, Odsonne Edouard, that big French baller back in the hoops. Not a rumor pulled off some daft Twitter account with 3 followers and a dream. No. This is something Brendan Rodgers is actually keen on. And pal, it could be the biggest move since KT came swaggering back through the door. Now, I know what you're thinking. Bigger coup than Tierney? Have you lost the plot? But hear me out. We're talking about a lad Martin O'Neill once said was the best striker since Larson. Let that sink in. That's not some light praise. That's holy scripture at paradise. Edouard, remember him? Silky feet, goals galore. A calmness in front of goal that made defenders wet themselves before he even took his first touch. 87 goals and 37 assists. in 179 games for the Celtic. Those are numbers that make your eyes water. Compare that to Kyogo, who folk treated like the Messiah. And Eddie's stats still come out shinier. And while Kyogo's now plying his trade in the Anjou Championship, Edouard, even with his patchy time at Palace, is still only 26 and has unfinished business in Glasgow's East End. Bringing him back, that's not just a feel-good reunion, that's a statement. That's putting the league on notice, and it's sending the blue half of the city into their wee prayer rooms again, asking if John Lundstrom can play up top. But now I've got to ask ye, would you take Edouard back right now as the answer to our striker problem? Or do you think that ship's sailed? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget, hit that subscribe to Hunt button, or I'll personally apply for a job at Rangers and leak their training tactics. Let's be honest, wouldn't take long to memorize them anyway. This story's heating up, and if it happens, paradise might just explode.